Okay. Uh, last time حكينا about those. Okay. Uh, حكينا about the level of competition, how it is, has nothing to do with your pricing strategy. Okay. هلا عم نحكي هون competition. Later on نحكي about how you penetrate it based on what pricing strategy, how your decision will be. حكينا about the description of the competition. هلا whenever come to pricing, for example في عندنا شيء اسمه كريم de la crème، وعندنا شيء firm price، عندنا شيء you price according to competition، you price هون بنسميها flow with the market. يعني عندنا price according to cost، وعندنا what do I mean by this? Okay, what do I mean by all those four pricing strategy? Does anybody have an idea? شو حدا عنده فكرة؟ أحمد.
Yes,
Any idea?
no.
What is a penetration pricing? Knowing that أنه عندنا competition. But what is a penetration price? يعني if a restaurant can implement something called penetration pricing, or hotel can do a penetration pricing. You need to understand something. بالpenetration pricing at the end نحن في عندنا market share. صح؟ Every restaurant has a specific
Yes.
market share. Every single hotel has a specific market share. And we took that بالlodging, how do you do market share, fair share analysis. If I am a new entrant to the market, and suppose
Yes.
that I'm coming to the market, I need to face with McDonald's, Burger King, Hardee's, Five Guys, all that. One of the strategy, and you price your item, your burger, your fries lower than your competitor. That's a penetration pricing. The main purpose is just to no رنا على مين؟ حط على لقاء حط على لقاء بس حط على رنا كده So penetration from its title إذا بتتذكروا باللودجينج في عندنا the penetration index if you remember it يلي هو هذا البنتريشن اندكس. نحن قلنا بالبنتريشن اندكس is by how much you are efficient to enter the market. وقتها كانت equal to market share divided by the fair share. That's باللودجينج. بالindustry it's the same concept. And my main strategy, my main goal is regardless those type of competition اللي شرحتها. عندك monopoly, عندك oligopoly, عندك hyper competition, regardless what. I cannot compete with McDonald's. I cannot compete with عندهم marketing budget, عندهم brand recognition, blah blah blah. From the survey that I did, I realize that my consumer are very price sensitive customer. So they go with the cheapest price. So I enter the market قد ايه ماكدونالدز عم بيعمل البرجر مثلا ب $3 انا 2.25 قد ايه عم يبيع الفرنش فرايز دولار انا رح بيع ب 0.75 penetration pricing could be break even could be loss انت the only strategy behind it هو to put your foot in the market to start having a market share to convince the customers to come to your establishment buy your product hopefully that you have a unique product a unique service that once the customer will try it will keep on coming but the question mark what will happen to your prices usually the strategy behind penetration pricing the strategy we start with a very low price below what the competition is offering and gradually we'll start to increase it step by step. في كتير في كتير businesses they go with that. هلا penetration pricing could be not reduced price, could be offers, could be promotion, but all that it's the same thing and keep reduced price. انا ولا ماكدونالدز عم ببيع البرجر ب $5 انا رح احطها $5 بس ماكدونالدز with the $5 you will not get anything انا بقول لك with the burgers you will get a soft drinks for free you will get an apple pie for free he automatically you are cutting down the prices هول بنسميهم بالterminology freebies I'm giving something for free هذا strategy what will happen the question mark whenever you stop those freebies whenever it will happen لأحمد فات لعندي على الكاستمر فات لعندي معه $5 he wants to get the burger he's expecting to get an apple pie he will be surprised I did not give him an apple pie when apple pie I'm sure this is the promotion we stop the promotion will he ever come back هون هنا الكويشن definitely he will come back is a burger that you are giving me still at $5 but in the mind of Ahmad has a better value better taste better quality better portion better presentation than my competitor is penetration pricing here very simply nobody knows about your brand how can I convince the customer to buy your brand what can I do promotion I cannot go with them ما فيني احط انا تي في campaign مثل ما ماكدونالدز what can I do the only option is like this one freebie discount promotion that's why مش هيك قلت لكم from the beginning with F&B concept انه the restaurant industry you have to have between 6 months to a year don't talk about profit لانه you will invest a lot بالاوبريشن in order just to have a market share not every single one not every brand going to the market automatically you will have the market share it's very easy منا easy يعني تخيل هلا انا I'm opening a restaurant burger how can I take market share from McDonald's from Burger King from Hardee's from the others and without having an increase in demand curve so regardless who you are regardless who be high انا بهيدي الهيبر competition عندي very tough competition I have to go with this one بس بالماركت ستادي تبعيتكم you need to analyze you need to understand the consumer what will be the post reaction of the consumer whenever you start increasing the prices بالكامبين تبعيتك it's very important to let the customer know in advance that regardless that price is low عم تعطي promotion عم تعطي freebie عم تعطي offer بدك تحط له اياها for a limited time only. He understands that a limited time only that is not forever. That's going back to original price. حط له الاوريجينال برايس كان فيت. يعني اذا انا بدي اعطيه فري ابل باي بدي اجي اقول له هيدا cost $8. Now I'm offering it for $5. So whenever you increase it back لل 8 the consumer he will stick in his mind انه yes I saw it that it used to be 8 now it is 5. مش هيك اذا بتلاحظوا كل السبلاير لما يعملوا بروموشن بالسوبر ماركت بيحطوا لك 25% ديسكاونت 30% ديسكاونت ما بيحطوكم البرايس بيحطوكم ذا برايس بعدين بيقول لكم 25% ديسكاونت انه حتى to maintain and this is a discount هيدا it's a limited time. No one reduced the prices without direct or indirect notice للconsumer. لأنه لما توقف هذا البروموشن تبعك ما بدك يكون عندك negative shock from the end. So this is the strategy that we do implement it whenever come to this one. ديل عليا any question?
No باسم.
Okay. هلا price according to competition. Flow with the market. What do I mean by flow with the market? ولا
يعني حسب
نعم.
حسب الديماند والسبلاي.
No. Flow with the market is very simply what your competitor is offering, what your competitor is pricing, you go with that. كيف هي؟ يعني McDonald's is selling the combo for $10, I will sell it for 10. McDonald's عم يبيع الفرنش فرايز $1 بيع $1. You need to understand it's a wrong strategy. Then you remember the selling price of any item that you sell has to cover your cost plus your profit. You flow with the market, I'm fine with that under one condition. Your cost is the same as cost of your competitor. بهيك cases, you are doing as profit as much as he is doing. But لما McDonald's عم ببيعك ب $10 البرجر, do you know what is his cost? What if your cost is much higher than his cost? ساعتها you start losing. If you keep on losing وما عندك ال financial backup, ما عندك ال extra petty cash to cover that loss, you will be out of the business. وعم نحكي cost, not only your variable cost. What if your rent is much higher than his rent? What if your interest rate at the bank is much higher than his interest rate? So how you flow with the market? And I flow with the market if all the costs associated with the cost of production are exactly the same. ساعتها انا بيجي بقول that by doing this I could minimize my profit a little bit, but I can still selling at his own level. That's fine. But هيدا بننتبه لها على هيدا الاستراتيجي انه how it is. بيبقى اثنين انه you price according to your cost. And what if your cost is higher than the cost of competition. شو بعمل؟ In that case, your selling price is higher than the other price. كيف بدنا نبيع؟ شو بعمل بهذا الكيس؟ يلا يا محمد زيدان شو بعمل؟ حماد
ايه باسم،
شو بعمل بهاي؟
بس فيك ترجع تعيد الكويشن لانه كان الانترنت كان بيعمل لود.
هاي الهايلايت. You price according to your cost. What if your cost is higher than your competitor? Automatically your selling price will be higher than your competitor selling price. You are in an environment where it is a hyper competition. You have a very fierce competition. What will be your strategy? Should you be able to go and reduce your cost? You have to go back and see if you can reduce your cost. What if you cannot reduce your cost? هون إذا تطلع على شرحناها من قبل differences in your product. What is uniqueness of your product? I know that I'm buying your burger. I know that your burger is higher in price than McDonald's or Burger King. I know that you are a new entrant to the market. But convince me, why should I buy your burger? If it is the same quality, you don't have an added value. Same portion, you don't have an added value. Same ingredient, you don't have an added value. Same cooking technique, you don't have an added value. يعني indirectly, you are imitating what your competitor are doing, but at a higher price. Why should I go buy to you? Why should I buy your burger, which is 15% more than your competitor, if there is not something unique, something different, something it is not available there? مشان هيك الكوست تبعك طالع عالي. That's why حكيناه من قبل that chain Whataburger cost تبع البرجر تبعه, the selling price of that burger is much more than McDonald's, much more than Hardee's, much more than Burger King, much than and he has a market share. Simply لأنه هو added value تبعه, الcost تبعه, he is the only one among all those competitors اللي هو عنده fresh meat, while the other have frozen meat. Lettuce is still lettuce, tomato is tomato, cheese is cheese, French fries is French fries, soft drinks, soft drinks. The only difference between them is fresh meat. And fresh meat, what does it make to the burger? Complete different taste. وعندكم clientele بيقول لك أنا why should I buy a piece of meat that has been in the freezer for the last 6 months, 3 months? I know that fresh meat it had to be used within 48 hours. Freshness automatically in the mind of the consumer, it's a higher quality burger. مشان هيك Whataburger نجح. It is successful. It has a market share. بس when I put على الماركت بيقول لك أنا I need to have something different, something unique. Otherwise I cannot compete with those giants. هلا بتقول لي طب واي ماكدونالدز ما بيقدر يعمل نفس الشيء؟ 22,000 units. Whataburger 800 units. I could arrange from a supplier for 800 units fresh meat. But how can I dispatch for 24,000 units fresh meat every single day? There is no way. Whataburger, they did the homework, they did the study, عرفوا if they can do something, an action that my competitor cannot imitate. هلا بتقلي financially they cannot imitate, لا, logistically they cannot imitate. Until now, logistically, Whataburger is very successful and his competitors are not able to imitate him. هذا إذا أنا according to my cost, is my cost so high, But how can you justify to your customer and I'm selling price is high because my rent is high? They don't care. Or my cost is high and the interest rate of it is so high. They don't care. Your customer, they are willing to pay a higher price than your competitor, but give me the added value. اتفقنا على هاي؟
Yes.
كريم دو لا كريم. شو كريم دو لا كريم؟ يعني شو I need to sell my burger for $100. How many can afford to buy $100 burger? يعني
Very
indirectly
few
انت you are looking for a niche market
niche market. Yes.
under one condition. شو هي الكونديشن؟ You better be worth $100. If you are not worth $100, you will fail quickly. Sell your burger for $200, $300, $400, but you better worth $100 or $200, $300. That's the purpose of Alain Ducasse, Gordon Ramsay, كل هول. Whenever I go to Alain Ducasse, I end up pay $300 or €300. What is the strategy? Strategy that I need to serve a niche market. ونحن اتفقنا انه from the consumer point of view, the consumer become very tough whenever they are small in quantity. هيدا النيش. كريم دو لا كريم شو معناتها؟ I need to have the best of the best. Alain Ducasse, he wants the best of the clientele in the market. What is best of the best? They want exquisite service, amazing quality food, amazing ambiance. Provide them that, they will not ask for the prices. He was able to do it. You cannot do it. ما فيك تعمل هيك. So لاحظوا how many strategy do we have to come up with the market. يعني indirectly بالcompetition هيدي oligopoly. indirectly هي هون كريم دو لا كريم. يعني تخيل عندك انا بيبسي كولا وكوكا كولا. I need to introduce a third brand. If you don't have a value way much better than Coca-Cola, way much better than Pepsi-Cola, at a lower price than them, there is no way to enter. Crème de la crème, this is the philosophy of the Ritz-Carlton. This is the philosophy of the Four Seasons. This is the philosophy of the Oberoi Hotel. This is the philosophy of Bulgari, Armani. Armani ما بيطلع على other clients. Armani إذا أنت بتقعد بالشيراتون وبالماري, you are not his target client. He doesn't look for you. He's not after you. Armani بيطلع على crème de la crème. بيطلع على the people who buy Armani, who buy Gucci, who buy Ferragamo, who buy whatever, Christian Dior, Yves Saint Laurent. هول هن الكلاينتس تبعوله. At the same time he knows انه those clients ما بيرحموا. They don't give chances. Those clients عندهم a very high level of expectation. That's why you are charging a very high price. ما تفوت بالكريم de la crème if you are not up to it. Up to it from the quality point of view, from the ingredient point of view, from the management point of view, from the skills point of view. Don't go for it. Alain Ducasse عنده Alain Ducasse عنده Spoon by Alain Ducasse. Spoon by Alain Ducasse, it is not crème de la crème strategy. But the Alain Ducasse restaurant, he goes crème de la crème. ما بيطلع بالcompetition بالكريم de la crème. He knows انه he has to provide the best in the market, the best quality in the market. So هون عندكم انتو هال4 pricing strategy that it could be applied to anything, to the lodging industry, to the hotel, to the restaurant industry, to the pub industry, to the airline. يعني اعطيكم هلا example. The Four Seasons صار عنده their own flights, their own. هلا عندهم one plane. Which strategy do you think he is implementing? Crème de la crème. Do you think he is implementing a strategy that goes after whoever flying first class? لا. هيدا بيطلع he is after whoever is flying private jet, not any private jet. إذا أنا عم بروح first class MEA, so do you think the Four Seasons is after me? أكيد لا. لأنه flying MEA يمكن first class حقه $4,000. بس any seats بالفيرست any seats بال Four Seasons بال $20,000-$25,000. So total different target customer, total different services. وto be able to charge per seat. حتى إذا بالايرلاين بالإميريتس ايرلاينز لما تقعد first class وتدفع 20,000. Emirates that are after crème de la crème. شو يعني crème de la crème? They are the most expensive first class seats. For example, بيطلعوا بكل الكومبيتيشن. Whoever have the most expensive close to them, they go after that customer. ما بيطلعوا بالكاستمر اللي رح يروح first class بالميدل ايست. اصلا الميدل ايست ما عندها first class. هيك الكريم de la crème. Going back, we'll go to this one. What is entry barrier? What is entry barrier? Who can explain?
Things that stand in your way when you want to open your restaurant or anything business.
Barrier to enter the market. Okay. Some common entry barriers include, for example, economy of scale, high capital requirement, high level product service differentiation, limited access to distribution channel, inimitable resources, government policy or regulation that discourage new entry. What is economy of scale? هذا بالpurchasing. إذا أخذت purchasing, you should know what is economy of scale. ما حدا أخذ purchasing؟
أنا عم باخده بس بعد ما وصلنا لهيك شيء.
Okay. Economy of scale هي very simply volume purchase. The bigger your volume, the lower your prices. Okay. هلا بس مشي لها علاقة هاي بهاي. إذا أنا عندي fierce competition, most of my competitors عندهم many branches that are chain or multi-units. I am a single unit, a single restaurant. So how can I compete with them in terms of pricing? Whenever they buy in bulk, I don't buy in bulk. How can I compete with, for example, Pizza Hut? Whenever he buys cheese in containers, I buy cheeses per kilo. Whenever he buy in bulk, the price per ingredient, it's minimized. Whenever his cost is minimized, automatically cost of production for him is much lower than my cost production. Automatically his selling price is much lower than my selling price. Okay, I can compete with him. So أنا لما بدي أعمل scan للmarket, it's not only to analyze your competitors about مين هن و how many seats و how many restaurants وقد ايه volume عنده. لا بدي اطلع their method of purchasing, how it is. Do they buy as I do buy from a wholesaler per cases, ولا هن they do buy in big volumes؟ هن عندهم warehouse, هن عندهم central warehouse. هول كلهم it's a barrier. If I do not have a volume purchasing from the supplier, they do have a volume purchasing, whenever come لهاي أنا ما فيني فوت مع according to competition. لأنه their cost of production it's much lower than my cost production. Their selling price will be much lower than my selling price. I cannot be able to compete with them. That's a barrier. That's an obstacle for me to enter the market. فهمناها؟
Yes.
Deal? طيب. Same way I explained it, can someone explain to me what is a high capital requirement? What's a high capital requirement? يعني high investment requirement. From the land, from the infrastructure. If any restaurant to be able to compete with them, my competitor is spending $2 million على الرestaurant تبعه, $3 million على الرestaurant تبعه. ما don't have such a capital. The high capital requirement could be rent, could be the design. يعني for example أنا بدي فوت على زيتونة باي. I need to start competing with the restaurant of Zaytuna Bay لأنه it's a very successful area. One of the obstacles is rent. It's too expensive. Plus I have to pay 3 years rent in advance. From when I'm supposed to get it, whole 3-year rent in advance could be $500,000. I cannot. Since I cannot, entrance هيدا capital requirement to be أنا available at Zaytuna Bay, it's a barrier and I cannot afford it. So capital requirement could be later on هنشرحها بالzoning بكل شيء. يمكن أنا بدي إيش أعمر أوتيل بهيدا الاريا. بس to build in that area في zoning restriction. Part of the zoning restriction is 50-50. شو معناتها 50؟ يعني you buy the land لك حق تعمر على 50% of the land, 50% landscaping. يعني I'm buying $5 million, I could have 2.5 for landscaping, 2.5 I can build on it. It's a big capital requirement, not within my budget. So هول اشياء كمان it stop you to go into that. It's the investment. كل businesses that require all the businesses. Certain businesses, the location where you want to build require a high capital investment. The zoning requires a high capital investment. The permits require a high capital investment. So هول كلهم will be considered as a barrier for you انه not to enter into such an investment. اتفقنا؟ clear؟